The kink, an interruption of energy flow. Imagine that your energy field is like a living network of garden hoses, constantly receiving water and constantly allowing that water to flow. Now imagine taking one of those hoses and bending it sharply in half. That water does not disappear. It keeps coming, but now it begins to collect behind the bend. Pressure builds. The flow slows. The life that was meant to circulate freely can no longer move as it once did. Our life force is much the same. It longs to flow. It longs to circulate. A kink in our energy field is simply a place where life has stopped flowing freely and there is a pressure buildup. These places often become highly charged, not because there's something wrong with us, but because life continues pressing gently against the place where the flow has been interrupted. How do these kinks form? Often through our woundings. When experience feels too overwhelming, too frightening, too painful, or too shameful, the body naturally contracts. The breath becomes shallow, the muscles tighten, the nervous system braces. A kink begins to form. That garden hose folds in half. And this can happen anywhere in our being, in our breath, our nervous system, our emotions, our posture, our pelvis, wherever life has learned to stop flowing. Some of these kinks remain completely unconscious. Some quietly shape our lives from beneath the surface. Others call to us again and again like an obsession, pulling our attention back to the same thoughts, the same emotions, and the same patterns. This is not a flaw, it's part of being human. So why do we avoid these places? Because they are very uncomfortable to feel. Fear, grief, anger, shame. Sometimes our culture has taught us that certain feelings should never be felt. Sometimes religion has told us they are unacceptable. Sometimes we simply wish they weren't there. So instead of feeling them, we tighten around them. We stop breathing. We stop sensing. We bend the hose a little bit more. Yet the life force never stops pressing against that bend. Usually the place we judge the most is the very place where life is asking us to flow again. The beautiful paradox is this: the same place that closed the door can become the doorway through which life returns. The blockage is not repaired by abandoning the hose. It is repaired by gently bringing awareness, breath, and presence to the place where the hose is bent. Perhaps it is not the original wound that keeps the kink alive. Perhaps it is our continued unwillingness or our inability to fully feel what remains there. When we allow ourselves to witness the sensations without forcing them away, without becoming lost in the story, something begins to soften. The body finishes what it could not finish before, no matter how much time has passed. The breath deepens, the flow begins to return, and with that returning flow, something remarkable happens. We discover that feeling itself is not the enemy. Feeling restores our freedom. The more fully we can consciously experience the textures of our inner life, the more choice we have in how we respond. Presence gently dissolves what suppression could never heal. So I leave you with this invitation. Bring gentle curiosity to the places within yourself that you have judged or avoided or wished were different. Perhaps those places are not your enemies. Perhaps they are simply waiting to be felt. And perhaps the place you've judged the most is the very doorway which life has been waiting to return to you. Imagine that garden hose becoming smooth once again, life flowing effortlessly, constantly receiving, constantly giving, circulating between heaven and earth through every breath, every cell, and every part of our being. Blessings.